Welcome back. It is the beginning of transformations. Okay, this will be the last section we cover, and we're going to do one part at a time. So, transformations are still parabolas, but this time we're going to talk about how do we move them, how do we shift them, how do we flip them over, what happens to our equation in order for that to happen. Okay, so one vocab word you'll need to start to familiarize yourself with is the parent function. Okay, so every shift and turn and flip that we make all comes from that parent function. And I always tell my classes when I see you face to face, your parents, even though you may not live with them, or you have a guardian, the two people who made you never change. It's the same with parabolas. The parent function or that graph, original graph, doesn't change until we start doing something to it. So we add something, we subtract something, we put a number in front of the parentheses. So those are all the things we're going to cover today. So first, we have to graph our parent function. What does that original function look like? Okay, so if we put this in the calculator, and you can, or you can trust my math, y equals x squared, or f of x equals x squared. Okay, well, if I take x squared and say negative 3 squared, I would get positive 9. Negative 2 squared is positive 4. Negative 1 squared is 1. 0 squared is 0. 1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4. And 3 squared is 9. Okay, that is always going to be your parent function table. Okay, those numbers are not going to change. So what does that look like on the graph? Well, I go negative 3, 1, 2, 3, up to positive 9. Okay. Negative 2, 1, 2, up to positive 4. Okay. Negative 1, 1, 0, 0. And then it is a mirror image. So I can go over to the other side and do the exact same thing. And then 3, 9. And that is what my parent function or original parabola looks like. Okay. Now we're going to find out what happens if we change our parent function a little bit. So again, these numbers are going to be the same. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my parent function on my graph real quick. 2, 9, negative 2, up to 4, negative 1 to positive 1, 1, 2 to 4, positive 3. So I'm going to draw my parent function. And you won't have to do any graphing because of the e-learning. If we were in school, you would have to do the graph yourself and make a conclusion from that. But I know how difficult that is on the computer. Let's do blue. Okay, so this is our parent function. Now, what happens to our parent function, or x squared, if we add a 3 to it? Okay, so if I have negative 3 squared is 9, so 9 plus 3 is 12. I added 3 to my parent function each time. 4 plus 3 is 7. 1 plus 3 is 4. 0 plus 3 is 3. And I get the same thing on the other side. Okay, so let's watch and see what happens when we add 3. So negative 3 up to 12. Negative 2 up to 7. Negative 1 up to 4. And 0 up to 3. Do the same thing on the other side. 2, 7. And 3, 12. So now I have my blue parabola. Do the best I can with my drawing. Okay. So what I want you to do is stop the video and do question 1 in your Google form. It asks you something like, what happens when you add 3 to your parent function? And you will need to write in a complete sentence what happens.